Hey, yo, your boy Bud Crawford on like his third victory lap, right? Now I understand one victory lap, maybe two, but three, nigga. But listen, I don't blame him, man. Those Spence fans was harsh when it came to Bud Crawford prior to this fight. And I think he deserves to be standing on top of the Empire State Building, banging on his chest heavy. You know what I'm saying? Like, he earned it. But like I told y'all, the Spence fans ain't the only people that he has in his crosshairs. He had certain choice words for Keith Thurman and a Danny Garcia, and it appears that Danny Garcia clapped back, baby. He ain't gonna let Bud just get off and don't shoot the jab back. Let's go ahead and talk about it. What up, YouTube? Big T.O. Heavy Bag Boxing TV, man. Get your goofy ass in here. Hit the bag. Hit that like button for your boy. That helps the channel. You know, I appreciate that love. Shout out my gang, man. D1, Merc 1ML, 21, Skinny JT, Black Jesus. My guy, Troy Jack, he won. Rebel Life, Modern King, Letitia, YK World, my guy, Tyrese Celeste. Hey, yo, real quick, big shout out to More and More Network, my guy, Sean, who offered me to come along for the ride on this initiative to get boxing and martial arts into public schools. I'm kind of excited about that, man. I'll definitely keep you guys in the loop about how that's developing and coming along. I think that is an excellent program to implement in public schools for those young, aggressive kids. I don't know about y'all, but when I was younger, I was a little bit aggressive, man. So to have that outlet and have those particular sports in great public schools would definitely be dope. So shout out More and More Network, my guy Sean. All right, now as far as Danny Garcia spoke on fighting Terence Bud Crawford in a Fight Hype interview. Shout out Fight Hype. And this is what he had to say. I wanted us to go ahead and give this a listen.
I fight anybody, like I said before. I'm in this sport to fight the best and make money. At the end of the day, I'm in this sport to fight the best and make money. This is what I do. Like, I already fought him for free in amateurs. So, show me the money. If you pound for pound, show me the money. Let's get this popping. But
so you don't believe that approach to street stuff that, he's with Top Rank and you with PBC?
If the fight makes enough money, if the fight makes enough sense, it's just like Manny Pacquiao and Mayweather. They was once Top Rank, one was Premier.
And this is why I really need for y'all to pay attention, because with Danny Garcia, he's making it all about the money. And listen, they prize fighters at the end of the day. But I think he's alluding to the fact that Bud just wasn't a big name, and that's the reason why more than likely they didn't fight. So I want you to really listen to what Danny Garcia had to say here.
Show me the money. If you pound for pound, show me the money. Let's get this popping. But
so you don't believe that approach to street stuff that, he's with Top Rank and you with PBC?
If the fight makes enough money, if the fight makes enough sense, it's just like Manny Pacquiao and Mayweather. They was once Top Rank, one was Premier Boxing. You feel me? And they made it happen because why? It makes sense. A lot of money. But if it don't make to split it against two fighters, it probably won't make a lot of sense unless it's generating a lot of money. And I know I'm gonna bring my money. I know I'm gonna generate my money from my side. So it's all about, at the end of the day, that's more.
Yeah. I'm gonna run that back for you a little bit so you can understand where he coming from. And he goes on to tell you, he says, I'm gonna generate my money from my side. Now this is an older interview, all right? Of course, Buzz wasn't what it is right now. This is, back when, Bud, and listen, let's keep it all the way real. Bud, he didn't sell. He couldn't really sell. You know what I'm saying? He did halfway decent numbers for Top Rank for sure, but he wasn't astronomical draw. So I think that's what Danny Garcia is trying to convey here. Let's continue to listen.
It probably won't make a lot of sense unless it's generating a lot of money. And I know I'm gonna bring my money. I know I'm gonna generate my money from my side. So it's all about, at the end of the day, that's more than just fighters. I mean, I could sit up here and say anything to you, but that's big. That's more than boxing. That's politics.
So according to Danny Garcia, man, he's straight blaming it on politics. It's what potentially kept him and Bud Crawford from stepping in the ring together. And I think, to some extent, that's a legitimate excuse. But a lot of the times you'll look at a fighter's resume and you'll see fights where to you it just doesn't make sense. Like, you could have switched that fighter with a Bud Crawford and made the same money, if not maybe a little bit more. And I think that's what Bud Crawford is alluding to. You know what I'm saying? He was calling these guys names. These guys wasn't calling his name. He wanted to fight these guys. These guys never really showed interest in fighting Bud Crawford, and he just hasn't forgot about it. Now, listen, you can never tell somebody how to react to situations. Bud holding a grudge, you know what I mean? He got that chip on his shoulder. He's holding a grudge, and he ain't gonna let those guys forget it, because he believes, you know, there were opportunities for those guys to get in the ring together, but it just never came to fruition. It never materialized, and he feels like they were at fault for it because it was something that they just didn't push for. And again, so according to Danny Garcia, he felt like it was just politics. He felt like at the time Bud Crawford just wasn't a draw, and it never made sense for opposite sides of the street to work together. Now, again, I do feel like it's some legitimacy there, but, you know, if you ain't calling for the fight and trying to push for it at the same time, you're not helping the situation. And I think that's more of what Bud Crawford was looking at. Now, for Danny Garcia, he had this to say social media, responding to Bud Crawford. Matter of fact, let me read that Bud Crawford statement for you one more time when he was talking to Danny Garcia and Keith Thurman. He says, quote, my, how the tables have turned. At Danny Swift and Keith Thurman will never, and I mean never, get a shot at the top dog, and that's me. Y'all hoe asses didn't want no smoke when I wanted to fight, remember? Now y'all want to fight so bad. Go keep fighting each other like before, end quote. All right. And Danny Garcia replied today. He said, listen, man, I'm rich, bro. I don't need to fight you. I've been making millions. Plus, I ain't trying to pay all those sanction fees. I could use that sanction fee money to buy more real estate, end quote, from Danny Garcia. So he don't seem like he pressed, even though he has mentioned Bud's name now on a few occasions about getting in there with Bud Crawford. Not like prior days when, you know, Bud Crawford wasn't a issue because it wasn't a money fight. Now it's a money fight. He's calling Bud's name, but he's also letting him know, listen, bro, I'm rich. You know what I'm saying? I don't need you for the fight. And it looks like more than likely Danny Garcia, as he recently stated in an interview, has his sights set on Israel Andy Laura and trying to get that 160 belt so he can become a 3-division world champion. So that's dope. You know what I mean? That's kind of dope for Danny Garcia to try and stamp that on his legacy. He has had a great career, I believe. And if he could make himself a 3-weight division world champion, I think that kind of stamps and cements that. But you guys let me know what you think in the comment section, man. Danny Garcia claps back at Bud, said, listen, bro, I don't need to fight you. I'm rich. You know what I'm saying? I don't need no sanctioning fee. I don't need them belts for the sanctioning fees. I can buy more real estate, so on and so forth. It is what it is, man. All right. That's all I got for y'all on this one, man. Big T.O. Heavy Bag. Talk to him, Roger.
Most motherfuckers don't know shit about boxing.